comes here and writes a big check and builds a gigantic structure here, and the church looks all nice and big now. That is never going to be a word about whether I should be a preacher or not, or whether I'm validated in ministry. Absolutely. That would be an equivalent lie that would get me to judge my life by what happens to me in this world. The danger, though, of judging your life by the good, and I think you're leaving out this part, and I think you would agree with this. The danger of judging your life by the good in the world is that you're in a world where you're not ever going to encounter everything that's good.
Right.
And so what's going to happen to you in the day you encounter the evil? So judging your life by the good, the danger of that is when the evil comes.
Absolutely. The storyline will
Because it
change.
isn't going to go good because there's death in the earth. So the danger of what Job was doing in judging his life good was only that suffering was going to come. Do you know why suffering was going to come? Because his name was in the book of death. His name was not in the book of life. Revelation talked about who can open the books. Nobody can open the book. John saw the books and he was like tormented by the book. See, we don't understand what the books meant to Jewish guys. The books have a very significant meaning to Jewish guys. They believed on the Day of Atonement, the Day of Judgment. They called it the Day of Scrutiny. A reckoning would come. And they believed Ha-Satan was there and was giving a report against man. And they were deathly afraid of those books being open, the book of life and the book of death. And they believed those books would be open, and then your fate would be sealed. And Satan was the one that had the keys to the book, and he's the one who came and opened the book and said, look, they're in the book of death, they're not in the book of life. And their fates were sealed. Right? And so Job's name was not in the book of life. So the danger of judging yourself by the good you see in the world happening to you is that you're going to encounter death.
Absolutely.
In this world. And so at some point, you're going to encounter the suffering. And then that suffering is going to judge you. And so even though at the beginning, Job's also judging himself by the good, the danger of that is that you're going to encounter the suffering. And then the suffering is going to shape your thoughts.
As long as we live